31 Mustangs in western Colorado. We don't just do auctions, we do a lot of other things also, but mainly we do direct adopts. This is where people, and the last person called me up and said, "Are you Project Cirrus?" Because I answered the phone, GVHR, right? He goes, "Are you Project Cirrus?" And I said, "Yes, we are." And he goes, "I got 3 Salt Wells Creek Mustangs that need home immediately." We had them placed directly to someone else in less than a month. I think we did it in 2 weeks. Yeah, we were quick. It's a full-time job almost. I'm getting down to my notes. We hit every single auction in western Colorado. We plan this out ahead of time. George does the Delta auctions, I do Loma, and there is not a Mustang that is going to climb into we call it the big black train. It's a really heartbreaking thing. But there's a big black truck and trailer that pull in, and it's the kill pen from Easton, Colorado. And if you have never been to that kill pen, it is the most disgusting place I've ever been in my life. I was there once. I had to figure it out. I had to see what it was really like to have a horse in a kill pen. So I went and pulled one out. I can't ever do that again, but I can make darn sure that none of our Mustangs get there, ever. In February, let's see, let me go through here. In February, we pulled out of an auction a really cute little Mustang named Blackjack. I believe he's working on getting a home. And we did our direct place last month at 3 Saltwell Creeks. But we also help people train their horses. If they have a horse they've already adopted and they're only struggling with training issues, please, if you know somebody have them contact us. We will go in and help them train their horse to keep them in that home, okay? Comes to our rescue and does this. We have a clinic every month, and we teach the different course from the International Horse Agility course. And then for those who want to participate after our clinic, they can come use our setup at our rescue anytime to practice, okay? So this is a really good thing for those people who do not have the opportunity to ride their Mustangs, but want to do something a little different. You're good? Okay. And a few things that you guys were talking about. Like right now, we have Notch and Cameo. Do you guys know who Notch and Cameo are?
Yes.
Yes, okay. We call them our boomerang twins, guys. Notch and Cameo have been with me since May of 2022. And we adopted them out to a lovely lady who had them doing the agility work. And she got very ill and could no longer care for them. Well, if you call me up and say, "I have your horses and I'm sick and I can't take care of them," I say, "How long do you need?" And she says, "Well, I really need them out by this weekend." And I'm talking to her on a Tuesday. I said, "We'll be there on Thursday." Okay? So we went up and got them brought them in. Now, Notch is a big mare, if you guys don't know. Little booklet Mustangs are big mares, but Notch is a big mare. She is a presence unto herself. And so she'll look at a horse trailer and say, "I'm not paying her." But every time she sees my horse trailer, it's always been her safe haven. And so she looks at that, "I'm going." And when we loaded her in out of that lady's house, she just walked right in. She was a great mare. And so everybody says, "Oh, she won't load, she won't load." Well, she always does for us. So we adopted her out again, well, hoped to adopt. We have a foster to adopt program with our kids, and we hope to adopt her out with Cameo because we always are going to keep those two together. They're a bonded pair. I'm never going to separate them. I think they're 20 and 21. I'm not going to break their hearts. So we sent them out for a foster to adopt program, and the mom was unable to meet her obligations. So the landlord called me where the horses were being boarded and said, "You have 48 hours, get them out of here."
Oh my God.
And so I pulled my horse trailer down there. This was last week, guys. I pulled my horse trailer down there, and Cameo loaded right up, and Knox said, "Hi, let's go," and loaded right in my trailer. And they went back to my rescue, and they'd come in and out of my rescue a lot. So they just said hi to everybody and just settled right back in, which is nice that they didn't have that big, "Oh, I'm in someplace new" mode. We also have in Project Cirrus, and you all know her, and we've added Rango, because if you don't know, Cirrus and Rango have quite the relationship going. Okay, I mean quite the relationship. I do believe in one of my flyers I have them kissing. I do! They're kissing right in the middle of the flyer. Okay? I just love those two. They're just, Cirrus and her and he are just like, really interesting. And someday, if anybody would like to discuss different BLM herds, I honestly believe that each herd has its own language.
Of course it is.
Because the horses that are from my Wyoming Mustangs and my Utah Mustangs, they communicate differently than the ones that my Hill Cliff Mustangs. But here's really interesting is, I have an orphan horse that's a gelding, and he grew up in a barn with a bunch of Mustangs from the Book Cliffs. And then when I moved to Texas, I sold my horses. They had great homes. I was very happy with that. And then I brought him back, and he had not met another Book Cliff Mustang until he and Notch communicated. And so he hadn't seen one in 10 years. They did the weirdest, I had never seen anything like, they did this weird breeding thing where they even were rubbing ears, and I'm like, what are you doing? But it was the first time he had someone he could talk to in his language. Because even though he didn't have a mom, so he's an orphan, so these little Book Cliff Mustangs that were around him taught them his language. And so that was the first time he could communicate with somebody. And so I was really found that interesting. And by the way, on in here, on the horseback, on the back, that's Angel.
That paint?
Yeah. No, this one right here. That's Angel. Only horse we pulled out of the East Slope. Only one we probably ever will. Documented the most abused horse we've ever found. Her owner has Facebook groups dedicated to watching where she is because of the number of abuse cases in dogs and horses. And now Angel is with another park horse. That's Parks, what is that? Park what? Range in Utah that they're out of. Do you know the name?
With Sundance.
Yes.
It's out, no, it's near Park City.
It has a park in it, George. The rescue that would consider taking her because of her violent behavior. As Colorado Horse Rescue Network was transporting her to us, numerous times along that route of trying to get her here, you know, from the quarantine to that rescue to here, they're like, we might want to consider putting her down for her own safety. And we kept saying, well, she's doing a little better, we'll get her through this. She got to our rescue, and poor Carrie, if you don't know Carrie from Colorado Horse Rescue Network, she's just dedicated to these horses. Her horse trailer was almost completely destroyed by this horse by the time we got there, and we were seriously thinking we were going to put her down right away. And she got in there, and she saw Sundance, and she talked to Sundance, and within 15 minutes, her whole personality changed. And now we can touch her. We can put a halter back on her. We can start brushing her again, okay?
That's amazing.
But so we can't do this alone, and I need help. I really need help financially. Nosh and Cameo coming back with 48 hours notice just about level us financially this month. Because I had to pay board that I wasn't prepared for. I have to pay hay. I've already paid $230 getting their feet done because they were in such bad shape because the parent had decided to try it themselves.
Oh,
Okay? So, I'm here to beg for money, no doubt about it. But also, if you guys know anybody, or if you're interested in helping us, if you go to our website, we have a Defenders, and you can be a Defender for $25 a month, and know that it is going to Notch, Cameo, Rango, and Cirrus every single month, and we could really use their help keeping them going. Also, if you like these really cool t-shirts, they're on our website for sale also. I would love to sell some of those. I just want to let you know what we are doing. When you have your open house, if you would like to see something great, I'll bring Notch and Kimmy down with our girls on top. It's quite impressive to have a big Mustang and have a little girl on top and have complete control of it.
yes.
Okay? A couple of things I wanted to mention in regards to pulling horses out of the range. I'm the one who catches those horses that don't make it, okay? 31 horses in 23 months is a really big load. Please, the younger they are, the easier they are to train. You cannot hand me a 20-year-old Mustang that may or may not have been halter break and say, it's gonna be a great horse when you train it. That in itself, guys, 20-year-old horse, not gonna happen. Give me anything under 6 and I can have a kid on it in a year or two, okay? Give me a 2 or 3-year-old and we can have a horse up then on it in 6 to 8 months. And these horses, and I don't push my horses, they go at their rate. Because I have a horse in the barn right now that is abused, that I'm supposed to be training. I have never missed a day of training on that horse. I still cannot touch it 8 months later. And I still have not missed a day of training. So, we could really use your help. The thrift store in Fruta sends us a check for $200 a month that they have done for years. And it is the one thing that I can do that I can just sit down and breathe. You know, knowing that that check's coming in every month. So if anybody could, or you guys would be considered donating anything, on a monthly basis, at a minimum, I shell out $1,200 a month for just taking care of little pup Mustangs. And I don't have that kind of revenue. I hate to just go out and beat the bush like this. And you saw us at the co-op, my kids were like, ooh, buy a t-shirt. We just have one t-shirt at the co-op, not one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so, but they're always trying, my kids are hustlers, whoa, they're hustlers. I see, so far, by the way, the next time they sell pizzas, I'll be here with my pizzas form, okay? They sell pizzas. They are organizing a gymkhana in the fall for us with the Boy Scouts. If you have never been to my rescue, I invite you to come. It is quite an experience if you have never seen anything like that. We have 20 horses and 20 kids, and they are running around there all the time. And it is, right? Leslie's over there just about to split again, because she can just see all these horses running around. We do have a YouTube channel, which I'm going to suggest you guys follow. It's Grand Valley Horse Rescue. The reason I was going to suggest you follow it is because we are starting by May 1st having a playlist that is nothing but Project Cirrus. So you can see Notch, you can see Cameo, you can see Cirrus, you can see Rango, you can see Angel, you can see her companion Sundance, and see where we are with them, what they're doing, how we're training them, and just know that they're just loved, because Cameo has a little girl that just thinks she is the best thing in the world. And I really, and I just, at this point, can't see adopting out Notch and Cameo again with that little girl relying on her for her life. Okay? Trying not to cry. I'm trying not to cry. We also have a pair of Hallelujah horses. And I have a little girl, Lorelei, and because she just told that to everybody in the valley on KKCO, she looked right in that camera and she said, if this horse wasn't here, neither would be I, because you saw her. So Shirley was 6 when we started training her, and Shirley is now saddle gentled. Kenny was 8 when we started, and he may or may not put a halter on that day. So that is my breakdown when I'm looking for trainable horses. So when you're out there talking to BLM, say, hey guys, you know, the rescues are picking them up that are not getting followed through, really need younger horses, or at least. Okay, now that we've done all my spiel, I'm begging for money. I have an interview with KRAX tomorrow at 11 o'clock to talk about BLM adoption policies and roundup policies. I have no idea about the roundups. I'm not even going to talk about that, okay? But based on what I've seen, I do not like that $1,000. Because people are getting that $1,000 for the horse. They're not taking off the tags. They're not halter breaking them. They are sitting them in a pasture. They're waiting for that year. They're waiting for the BLM to give them their title. And then they run them down to an auction. And when we walk in that auction, and if there's a Mustang there, we have about 3 hours to raise $900. 3 hours to raise $900 to save that horse's life. Facebook, if anybody's on Facebook, we have a Project Cirrus group on Facebook. It is one of those groups that you will never hear from us. Never. Unless I have a horse show up. Or we're at an auction in trouble. And then we blast out to that Facebook group going, hey guys, here's what we're doing. And so they can help us out. That's all, their only purpose is to help us when we're in trouble. I have a good idea of what I should say about adoptions. Does everybody agree that that $1,000 was probably not their best choice?
Exactly.
Or,
Actually, it was brought up at one of the Colorado meetings. Who was that gal from the Eastern Slope? But anyway, yeah, she's another sanctuary that was totally against that.
yeah. Because there was one time when I got notified that I had to narrow our scope. I can't save every Mustang. So I only narrowed it to Western Colorado. But there have been times when I have been called the week before Christmas in 2022. I was asked to take 24 Mustangs. 24 Mustangs out of a kill pit that another rescue was gonna pull out. What the heck do you do with 24 Mustangs that still have their tags on? What? I don't have that kind of capacity. But they hound me, you know, they were always on me. Or the 17 that came out of that Wyoming auction. We can contest that. And they're putting that many through. So I don't think that was a good policy. I also think before you get your papers for your BLM, I think you should be able to go up and have the tag off, touch your horse, make sure you don't get his feet down. Something after a year, the horse should be able to be touchable, I know. Okay? Don't just put him in a pasture and hope for the best and get your money and go on. So does anybody have a problem with me getting in front of the television and saying that? Okay, go. Here we go. All right, guys.
I need a brochure.
Oh, you can have as many brochures as, did I not get over here?